Hello and welcome for this solo playthrough of Advanced Squad Leader. I'm Robin Reeve, and if you're seeing my face, it's because I'm playing with my green screen and OBS and tweaking things, so you won't see me a long time because it's not very useful, but at least you can link the face and the voice, and I will promptly disappear afterwards. So as you see, there's a pretty image here of T-26 tanks, so they will be featured in this 1939 scenario from LFT139 RIDE of the 200th, and it will feature Chinese attacking Japanese positions, which is always interesting. I don't play Chinese often, or I haven't played them recently, so I'm slightly rusty. As usual, you will of course see me making rules errors. I'm not the top-notch tactician, but we are there to have fun. So if you have the same idea of fun as I do, I hope you'll enjoy those scenarios. Those videos, of course. This video is about setup and explaining the scenario, and if you don't want to suffer all those aspects, even though setup is important, you could simply jump to the next video, which will start with the Chinese moving against the Japanese forces, of course, when it's uploaded. In the present moment, it doesn't exist yet, of course. Anyway, I'm going to disappear from your view for the best of everybody, for better for everybody. And let's go and look at the situation and the details of the scenario. So see you later. Here we are. So this is the scenario. If you look down on the scenario card, it's signed by Jean-Pascal Paoli, who is one of the team of the Fontireur, I believe, from the beginning. He's very reputed and very prolific scenario designer. If you perhaps notice, he has a Corsican last name, which is the same as one very important personality of the 19th century. About also Corsica and its relations to France. If you are versed in Napoleon's biography, you'll see that there were some different views between Paoli and Napoleon. Okay, but we are in China now. So we are in the Kunlun Pass, non-Guangxi, China. Sorry for the pronunciation. As you noticed on the scenario display, the video display, the T-26 were colorized, and I took the image from internet, from the the Wikipedia or something like that, and it's the AI Grok who colorized it for me with some tweaks, but it works quite well. So Kunlun Pass, okay, 19 December 39. In November 39, the Japanese had landed on the coast, of Guangxi and captured Nanjing. Thus, they cut off the province of Chongqing from the sea, effectively severing foreign aid to China's war effort by sea and making Indochina, the Burma Road, and flying above the Himalayas, nicknamed the Hump, the only way to supply China's National Revolutionary Army reacted vigorously in a series of major offensives in the region, engaging their best divisions, among them the 200th Division, the only Chinese armored division of the time. Board configuration, as you see, there are good relationships between Le Fontireur and Heat of Battle and Bounding Fire Publishing, and They also sell products from the one and the other. So we have the HOB1 and HOB2 maps who are from, I believe, high ground, you know. Normally they are displayed in the other order, so they create a great hill mass, but this is quite cleverly organized. So we have a valley with steeping hills on both sides. So I like that also. I like that ingenuity. Oh, my English, you know, it's a passive vocabulary, and when it becomes active, it's quite, yeah, wobbly. So the victory conditions, those who attack are the Chinese. They win at game end if they control 11 or more huts or collapsed huts. Okay, we don't look at the balance because we believe that the scenario is perfect. So there we are. So Japanese sets up first, Chinese moves first. So what do we have for Japanese? They set up in and or adjacent to hut hexes. You'll see that all buildings are hexes, huts in this story. So 5 first liner, 4 second line, of course 4 crews, because we have an infantry gun, a mortar, no, I presume, yeah, a machine gun. Oh yes, so two ATRs. I think, yeah, those, and the machine gun. The mortar doesn't need a crew. So, okay, mediocre leaders. Some dummy and counters and foxhole, because as the Chinese enters from off board, everybody starts concealed. So the dummies are dummies. And the only difference is that the dummies may not set up in non-concealment terrain, while a unit not in concealment terrain can set up concealed. So contrary to very performing players, I'm not a concealment counter. I don't count. Of course, I have an approximation, and with 6 dummies, you easily can spot when the 6 are out, or you only have 3 remaining in a corner, of course. But I don't want to remove the feeling of surprise, etc. Yeah, quite stupid. I believe, but I never pretended to be somebody very smart anyway. So ELR 3, that's rather low, and SAN 4, that's quite logical. So the attacking Chinese, so that's the 9th and 21st Infantry Regiment, 5th Division, 2nd Army, Imperial Japanese Army, part of the Earth human race and of the galaxy of the Milky Way, set somewhere in the vast universe. Yeah, okay. No, I mean, of course. Leading elements for the Chinese of the 1,149th Tank Regiment. I hope I won't have to say that again. 101 52nd Mechanized Infantry Regiment, which are all part of the 200th Armored Division, part of the 5th Corps, and part of the 8th Army of China, of course, of Kuomintang, and not communist ones. So they enter on turn 1 along the east edge, and we also see things. So here they are. The east edge is here. The boards are cropped. Okay. And what do they have? Yeah, 8 elite. Okay. 5 first line. 2 good leaders. 2 puny LMGs. And 4 T-26 M33 of Russian construction with a B11 red. We'll see it, but it covers all weapons. And they also have 4 tankettes, Italian L335E. What I know is that the U here in a Russian tank indicates that it has radio. So in 1939, you have T-26 on the Chinese side, which have radios, which is not very common in the Russian Soviet army anyway, but we'll see that in detail. I hope I won't forget to go and dip my nose in chapter H. So environmental conditions are dry, no wind at start, all buildings are huts, there we are. All woods is brush. Vehicular dust is in effect. I must not forget that, but I put a little rules reminder. Vehicle crews cannot voluntarily abandon their vehicles. That's just so they don't jump out of the tank and take control of a building at one end of the map. Good thing. I believe that the rules, if they had to be rewritten, could state that a vehicular crew may not gain control of a place, quite like a leader. It can contest control, but not gain. So it would stop some, let's say, gamey tactics. But now we have special rules just to block that. The Japanese cannot use HIP. Okay, so that will make things simpler for the solo gamer that I am. And contrary to G1421, the Japanese may use a total of 2 to hit heroes during the course of the scenario. They are, because you only have 9 squads, so normally they could only have 1. Okay. Historical result: the battle between Chinese forces and the Japanese invader soon developed into a series of violent clashes, most of them occurring in the contention of the Kunlun Pass. The tanks and mechanized infantry of the 200th Division took advantage of the flat terrain to make maximum use of its mobility to exact heavy casualties on the Japanese. By January 1940, they had wiped out an entire Japanese brigade. The Japanese, however, successfully invaded Indochina in September 1940. Well, that's 9 months later, rendering useless the expansive occupation of Guangxi. In November, they evacuated the area. So here are the rules in Chapter G, 18 for the Chinese. We have Kuomintang or communist. Okay, we have Kuomintang. And yeah, they have a 5-3 set first line specialty, but that's for American trained infantry, so it's not our business. Okay, smoke, it's always about 537. And now we're leaving the red communists. Human wave, they can make human wave attacks. Just if they were Russian, I don't think it would be a very interesting tactic in this scenario because they don't have too many people. So they are death squads. So the Chinese may designate 10% of the squads as their death secretly. Will do it, and they can, if such a unit starts its MPH in or adjacent containing an unpinned good order friendly personnel leader, and that is within 8 MF of an enemy ground unit, which it and that leader have LOS, that unit may at that time go berserk voluntarily. Oh, voluntarily, yes, that's it. It cannot go berserk if that leader is marked with a prep bounding pin TI counter, nor if any marsh, swamp, cliff, unbridge. Okay, if it cannot reach the location. The Zerk must then charge that enemy unit now considered its designated target and attempt to enter the location. The leader, it's a banzai charge. No, it's a berserk charge. The leader may go berserk at the same time, provided each such leader is infantry to whom none of the conditions given in the above exception apply. Okay. Each who goes thusly berserk must charge that same enemy unit. Leader consequences are not applicable. That means it cannot generate berserk units in his hex. Okay, infantry that voluntarily go berserk automatically return to the normal at the end of that player turn, exception if in melee at that time they remain berserk until no longer in melee. There are Zerkers who can cool down more readily. So there's a special red on white berserk counter to indicate that. Interesting. So I would say if the leader goes berserk, the main situation, the most probable is when he is stacked with that unit, so they move together. A leader, whether created from a dare death MMC or not, cannot go berserk voluntarily, except as stated above. That's a leader created, yes, through leader generation. However, when a dare death MMC does go berserk voluntarily, any hero stacked with it may accompany it during that MPH. In that MPH, each such hero is assumed to have 8 MF, or 3 if wounded, and may enter the designated target's location, but may not move in the subsequent advance phase. So, okay, it's a half berserk. So I believe the hero is not berserk because it cannot reach that state. So it still will have its 9 morale rather than 10. Okay, those are cases I haven't stumbled upon. Human wave, no unit that goes berserk may also be used for human wave, not mixing things, which is a good thing because I would believe some rules interactions would be complicated. Close combat, they enter into and resolve hand-to-hand CC as if they were Japanese. That's automatic if they're not ambushed, that's it. In addition, each non-hand-to-hand in which one or more armed unpinned death MMC participates receive an extra -1 DRM. So that could be interesting. Yeah. These attributes apply even for a dare death MMC that went berserk involuntarily. Oola, okay. Yes, because they can still have the blood going up. Or even if it is not berserk but is unbroken. So that's interesting. No quarter. Okay, we are in 1939, so there's no quarter for both sides. No mopping up. Okay, interrogation. We don't practice interrogation in my case. I know some players, and it's interesting that they do apply interrogation. So now we will move to the Chinese vehicle notes. Starting with the L335, so blah blah blah. Okay, 20 were assigned. Okay, that's not a lot. So if stunned, this AV may not regain C status, may not fire any weapon, and is recalled. Yeah, there are only 2 guys in it, I think, so it's even a miracle if you have a crew getting out of it through survival. So that's it, really a tank it. So stun, egal, recall, and CEFP NA. It has a good CMG, okay, and I think it's a twin one, so we'll look at the notes higher. And I think there's double to kill. Oh, it's even written on the counter. And they are radioless, so no radio. So there are little notes. A, okay, it shows I or R. That's the nationality. B, if it's barred, it's not used in Burma. And D, make 2 to kill DR on the MG of the AP. Okay, only 1 fire. Yeah, it's a twin machine gun. That's it. Okay. So that everything is explained here. The BMG may scrounge as 1 or 2 LMG, but is considered 1 MG for malfunction. Okay. Well, see. If we have to scrounge something, we'll do it. So, okay, the Panzer 1R, we're leaving it. Vickers also. But here we have T26UM33. There's a lot of blah blah. Each time mechanical reliability DR, it's a Russian. You know, the 11 is a stall, and 12, of course, is always an immobilization. That's all. Yeah. The B, yeah, notes A and E. I think E means that everything breaks. Yeah, all weapons, the MI and all MG have B11, so that's why the B11 is in red. Okay, B11 like this appears on the wrist side, the MI is B. So yeah, for scenario after 1941, so we don't mind. It's a B11 normally, otherwise it has a low ammo thing. So I think we saw all we could see about the special units. So you see woods are brush, but I managed to change them in brush. Okay, buildings are huts, and vehicle dust. Oh, vehicle dust, we'll look at that because it's a desert rule, but it's not so complicated. But yeah, I forgot that. That's a good point to look up. So the conditions, okay, the conditions are there for vehicle dust. And such a scenario as a vehicle of any type enters a new hex at a cost of less or equal to 2 MP, a vehicle dust counter, you see there, is placed immediately prior to defense, bonfire first fire attacks. Okay, at the base level of the hex, it has just exited. So no dust counter is placed if the vehicle's expended the start MP in the hex just exited. So yeah, it needs to take some speed. Or if it exited that hex via a paved road or hexite, forget it, in China. If in exiting that hex, it also exited the playing area, okay, and that's it. The dust counter is immediately removed from that hex when the vehicle leaves the present hex, so practically the dust will follow the tank just one hex behind. The wind change results in heavy winds, gust change. The vehicle begins the next friendly fire not in motion. The vehicle begins its next movement phase already in motion and expends a MPH for any reason. Okay, so implicitly, if it remains in motion with vehicle dust, you place this counter. I'm looking if it's, treated as normal disability. Okay. Since the vehicle is not prohibited from expending more MP to enter X than the minimum required, it may, of course, declare more, so he doesn't create vehicle dust. Okay, the reverse side of vehicle dust is placed face up if the vehicle both creates dust and ends its MPH in motion. There we are. Platoon convoy movement. Vehicle dust is placed only at the end of each impulse. And there we are. So it's nice. Even in the narrative of the scenario, I presume noted that. I'm removing the rule now. The scenario spoke of the Chinese using the flat terrain. Yes, that's a question. What could we do? I believe if they attack around here, using those little Italian tanks by two platoons, they could advance and leave some dusts, and so the infantry can move behind. That could be a thing to do. Now, you see all those huts, because they are huts, can be taken. There are a series 4, 5, 6 on this side of the hill. So up here it would be really useless to move, but here it could be interesting just to come down. To enter here. And of course, I would consider, I think there were debates about this, but we'll try to get out of some stupid considerations. If you enter from here, you're on level 4. Here you're on level 4, 3. But anyway, you're not starting at ground level on this side of the map. Okay, I think that's a good thing to do. So what do the Japanese actually have to defend themselves? Of course, they have their machine guns can really be good anti-tank devices, but they of course have 2 ATRs and the infantry gun. The infantry gun cannot acquire. That's interesting, of course, but it has a 3 ROF, so I think there's nothing special. No, it must be crude, that's all. So yes, now we'll take some time to think about how the Japanese will organize their defense. And I slightly adapted the scale between the counters and the hexes. Here I put 125 on this extension, which is really good. So we see things better. So now the Japanese had to set up, and of course this position is very forward position. I don't think it would be the most interesting one to. Here it's a good position to cover a lot of the plain, so here also. So this would be obvious places to put some anti-tank things. But also, if we have a Valkyrie assault, it could be interesting to have people up here. So the Japanese need to be adjacent or in the in the huts. So they cannot set up at this level. So the Chinese can really come down here. Okay. So the idea could be to put somebody here with some anti-tank thing. Yeah, that could be nice. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, yeah, even 37 star is a good to kill. Let me see, to kill. So 37 star is 7. Yeah, against 1 or 0. Armor is excellent. 20L6 and okay. So the best things are the 20. Yeah, okay. And the machine guns have 4, but can push up a little. But this in this place we have a cluster, very important cluster. So we'll have people here, but we need to defend here. Okay, so those will be most advanced and I think have somebody here in the second line. Here they hardly have any LOS, so it can be something to retreat to or to move to, but not the best. Here they're very far away. If we defend correctly, the Chinese shouldn't be able to move too fast to this place. So what are we doing? The problem also with, and they have 2 foxholes, that's good. The problem with the little gun is it needs to pivot well. Yeah, the ATR is not, no, but it has no CA. What am I saying? I don't think so. I went to 921 and 21 about the restricted covered arc. So it's not about paying it, but it works also not only for HMG and MMG, but for infantry support weapon and 20L ATR types. So if they are in buildings, they could be stuck. If they keep roof. So perhaps it's not the best place to put them, but a foxhole would do it with a good Japanese crew who can, in a quite resilient way, do things. So this is about case A, fire outside CA to hit. As you see, it's about a gun. So it doesn't work for support weapons. That means, they have restriction if they are in woods or in buildings, but they can swing. They don't pay any case A, and neither the ATRs, of course, because we're more used to them than those puny little infantry guns. But those don't either gain acquisition, and the only support weapons who gain acquisition are light mortars, if I remember. Perhaps RCL, but I'll see. So if you look at C92 about the light mortars, you have some indications, quite indirect, but which are confirmed. If you look at the acquisition rules, it's written here, as a support weapon, a light mortar has no CA. So that means a support weapon has no CA anyway. So it has no problem with that. And just as a side note, if you noted that when they are stuck with their covered arc, it's fixed. It doesn't work for the little mortars. So okay. And what is interesting also, it can use area target acquisition. Okay, in losing it as if a gun. So as you understand, the rule is about acquisition is only for guns and mortar support weapons. And as it's a thing that has been debated or people ask about, I thought it was interesting just to point it out. And so this will help us for the Japanese defense also. So here we are. It would be interesting actually to have an anti-tank asset here. I think I'm going to place, what do we have? A crew here with the nasty one with the ROF of 3 and the foxhole here, and I'm going to conceal them immediately so don't forget. This is nice, and we will have we need somebody in the heights also with the means to place some ATR defense, AT defense. If I place them there, they don't see a lot, but it's the best way. Here it would really be bad if they are in a foxhole, because that's what I'm going to do. Well, yes. I'm going, yeah, what happens here? I believe they have LOS to about everything here, so they can stop slightly, or attempt to stop slightly, invading Chinese armor around here. At least be a threat and go into the foxhole. So remains the last really important ATR defend. I think it could be interesting. Here we have hardly no LOS, and I think we need to be. This could be nice. This also could prevent some attacking from here, but they mustn't be left alone, because yeah, infantry will have to do their job too. That's the thing. I'm giving the MMG immediately. So here they are. Okay. So are we going to defend this? That's stupid. They'll be swamped, but I don't think it's really very interesting for them. I'm already giving the, oh, they are well armed, 2 LMGs here. And the mortar, I'll give it to a second liner, because when you fire mortar, if you fire your inherent firepower, you lose your acquisition, so sometimes it's not very useful. So the mortar is marginally useless. Oh, it's also a good, no, not a good, but it can be an interesting anti-tank weapon. I think I'm going to, they fire up to 16, 3, 6, 9, 12, okay, they'll be up there. That's amusing. And they can cover a lot of places here, and I believe about here and up here. They are on level, oh, they can even go on a higher level. That would be really fun. There we are. I hope I won't forget them, but they can do some nasty things, because I presumably, and if the Chinese just want to move to suppress that mortar, I think they'll have, and they don't have a good range, so this mortar goes up to 16, so really for a little pipsqueak thing, it works well. So I believe this part of the village should be really well defended. Here it's difficult to defend. Here we could have people, but they're badly placed. No, we're having somebody here. What is a situation where we could move? It's, we have anti-tank things. We could put a little, don't know the use, put the file in here, but the Chinese would just move like that, so not sure. Yeah. We'll have people up here, so depending what we'll be using, but I think I'm going to put some second liners at least for this first line. Perhaps not put the best units immediately in harm's way. The machine gun is still good here. It has a good cover dark and even can fire here. So I'm going to put it here. Why not? So if the Chinese come here, we need to have some means to defend ourselves. But anyway, a lot of the attack will come here. So we'll place some good units here, a fire brigade or something of the same style here. Some people just defending the bus here. Yeah, afterwards it's question of choice. We already have 3 squad equivalents here. Of course, behind. What do we have? I don't know if they are good here. Perhaps here. They'll be concealed, and they're out of harm's way, so they can, cut the road. That's not too bad. And here have some units ready. The thing is not to put them too much in depth, because they need to punish the Chinese. The question is also not route path for Japanese, but maneuver path. Yes, 1. They can 2, 4, and move their retreat a little. But I think on this side, we need some people, even out of buildings. Oh, anyway, they are huts. We must remember. We must remember that. And oh yes, we need to be able to move. This would perhaps be the fire brigade. I don't know. A leader just to avoid a cover here, and the leaders are less necessary, should we say. So some decoy here. Let's go. This could be. Are they all? Yeah, they're all in buildings. If I put somebody here, a sound Japanese will say, he's joking. This could be an interesting place. Never, however. Well, having guys here or here. What happened? Oh, they teleported. Okay. I think I'm doing that. Well, I used the pause and decided to just note the huts, because things can, in the heat of battle, suddenly you apply a +2 ETM when it's 1. There are special rules with the huts. We'll look at them. They take fire when you fire on them. If you have a red 6, I think, or 1 with your IFTDR, so it's really it can take fire. It's dry, ECR dry, up 1. So it could be good. Just looking without anybody. All the huts are marked. No, I forgot one. There it is. So I forgot here to clone it. And I don't know if it's this new version of ASL, but VASL, but I find that the labels are very easy to move. They don't stick to the grid, or perhaps it was not in the preferences, and so I didn't notice it before. So there we are. There is some bore sighting. I think I'm just going to check it now. Yes, the bore sighting is absolutely possible. I just need to see which guns or units may use it. Okay, so I was quite sure the ATRs couldn't, but I had a question about the infantry support weapons, infantry gun, but only MMG, HMG, and light mortars may bore sight. So this will reduce the numbers. Okay. So off we go for the bore sighting. This gun cannot. So only the mortar could bore sight. I don't know where. If they come up. Why not there? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 14, 16, 16. This could be. We'll try LOS here from 206, just for the spite of it. Oh, and I love now that you see the units. Because most of the time I clicked and got it wrong. So 16 hexes, yes. We'll place some Japanese bore sight here. Axis. Oh, I'll take another color. I'll give it a blue here and put it here just for the fun. Oh, okay. Okay. No. Mortar. Light mortar. There we are. And of course flip it. And oh, I should say bore sight. Actually, I'm changing the label. Don't need to give the bore sight. Bore. There we are. BRSCG8. Bore sight. Excellent. I'll use it further on because I can link anyway the. So there we are, and of course it is HIP. If we were playing between true people and MMG, it's stupid because it's only during movement, but perhaps we could If they move there, because during movement, I'll just go for that. Is it really useful? Oh, and it will have the cover dark there anyway. Yeah. Putting it's much too obvious. No, we're putting it there. Okay. There we are. And we will be now linking those two. So just as a remembrance, for those who don't know, you select with click Shift and afterwards Alt Control L for link, and you can Control U for unlink. There we are. So that's the secret. You know, machine gun bore sights really hardly doesn't work very well. Okay, and we have, that's all I think. Oh no, there's a mortar. Medium machine gun. Is there another one? I think so, but where? Where is you? No, there's only one, I think. They only have one. Oh, gee. Yeah, one MMG and one mortar. That's all that can bore sight. So it's not overcomplicated. I'm going to conceal everybody. There also a little trick. Of course, perhaps you're not a beginner and you'll laugh at me, but don't select the whole stack, because otherwise all units get a concealment counter, and it's not good because you're sending a wrong message to your opponent. I would really recommend that people, when they separate a stack, just give concealment counter to this unit which separates, and also when they join different concealed units, you just need to keep one official concealment counter on top of it. So for those who discover perhaps that new feature of having transparent concealment counters, it helps people to make the difference. Here you have the concealment counters visible because they are dummies. Here we are. Now the Chinese, what do they see? They see a lot of concealment stacks. There are no HIP. Okay. We will, I think, we can declare 2 units. I'm looking at how many they are in all, in total. 12, 13 squads, so they can declare 2 dare death, and I'll give them, I'll declare them with 447 because they have a greatest bunch, or should they? No, perhaps not. I'll declare 2 small ones because they need just to swamp the enemy. It's perhaps better just not to give it to the best. As a way, just you launch them against the enemy, and there they go. So here we'll have people advancing. We won't be using dust. Don't think we have a lot of orchards, so this will be the terrain for the T26. I think we'll try something here, two-pronged attack could be a thing, yeah. And in the center we will have and even the T26, they don't need to move in platoon, so it's quite good. Perhaps one will come here, one come here. Yes, and the little Italians will come, Italian tanks, sorry. Try to move here. If they go too much if they go on the side, perhaps they'll have more chances, helping with vehicular dust, etc. The thing, we'll try to move abreast here with 2 tankettes. Anyway, yes, that's nice. And if they move first, they can move here. Don't need to do any armored assault, and the others come behind, and we'll have that vehicle dust. So perhaps it's not even useful if they need to. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go here, or 1, 2, 3, 4. They need to stop, be in motion here. Oh, sorry, I'm clicking the wrong thing. The motion here, and leave some dust here. Unless no, but they can run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because they enter the dust. That's nearly too close. Ooh, yeah, the thing is yeah, 6. Well, yeah. Okay. So we'll and on this side of the battlefield, what did I move? I moved the T-26. No, they didn't go there. Okay. So putting those here. Perhaps we'll have a mix. What do you think? Am I telling myself? Perhaps those 3 move in platoon. Okay, and do their smoke thing. And this one with a T-26 will come and fire against the enemy. I don't know. And do some armored assaults. No, perhaps not. But having this one... Okay, we're having one here, moving down. We're having 1, 2 up here. I think that's the thing to do. And T-26 here could still do something. 1, 2. Yeah, if we have those guys here, and afterwards we still have 2 tanks who can pepper the Japanese here, that would be nice. And they can move in platoon. 2 here and 3 here. And we will have 2 squads and a machine gun here on this side, at least 2, and have also, they don't need to outmaneuver the infantry, so we'll having people here with machine guns moving up. I wonder, I think those will also go here with the machine guns. They really have nearly nothing for dare death. Could be interesting. Just yes, I'll have them 1 here. Okay, and this one could also be part of the thing, because they're launching. Well, that's not too bad. And have 1, 2 squads here. We'll be using 1 also. No, now we need people up here. I'm placing them there, but of course they'll creep under the tanks. Those need to be more mobile, so I will just... It's scary. It's scary, nevertheless. Those Chinese are taking great risks. Yeah, but we need people up there. Oh, really? And we only have 2 leaders, so my oh my. Okay. Yeah, but Sun needs... Yeah, we need people here. Oh, really? I'm groaning because I'm anticipating some hard times anyway. Where's the DD guy? Okay. Will I move with him or just next to him, I think? I'll have the lieutenant with them anyway, so he can go berserk if needed, but I don't think he will, because his men are needed. That's rather frontal, but yeah, the Japanese are not overarmed anyway. Yes, we're coming from the mountains. Here we are. So why not a DD at this place rather? Of course, I always doubt of myself, which is excellent. there we are. We're reaching the end of this setup. We'll see what happens. I'm not hiding the tanks anyway. As soon as they are seen and the Japanese cannot, switch their defense. So, just checking the information. Yeah, put the sun there. It's useless to put the ELR and but if there were booby traps, it would be interesting. But otherwise, useless. Okay, so now we are placing our snipers. So about anywhere. And the Chinese, well, could be anywhere, but perhaps closer to those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyway, we'll see if they activate at all. So here they are coming, and what could we see? Perhaps here moving. No, but here we really have the means to move out of vision until we arrive. So, all in all, we have finished our setup. And here I am popping my head again just for the fun of it, and my narcissist part of myself needs to be seen. So that's why I'm speaking to you in full sight. No, anyway. All I hope is that next time we'll start the hostilities and have a lot of fun with this scenario by Jean-Pascal Paoli.